Hello, for today's project I'm going to be doing it on St. Peter's Basilica in Italy, Rome. Early history. St. Peter's Basilica is the largest church in the entire world. It is a hotspot for millions of pilgrims every year. The story of this masterpiece is introduced with the crucifixion of one of Jesus' apostles, Peter. He is buried nearby on what is now Vatican Hill. The first Christian Roman emperor, Constantine the Great, built the old basilica between 319 AD and 333 AD on the burial grounds of St. Peter. Fast forward to the 16th century, Pope Julius II commissioned the construction of the current St. Peter's Basilica. Next up, we have the architecture. The construction of the basilica took over a century to complete. Pope Julius II held a competition to design the grandest building in Christendom. The winner was Dante Bramante. The foundation stone was laid in 1506. However, many deaths occurred and personal changes, which led to the architects from being Bramante to Raphael, and then eventually Michelangelo in 1547. As you can see on the right column, Michelangelo is credited with the architectural designs of the basilica. He based his designs off of Bramante's designs. The basilica is built in the traditional Renaissance architecture. On the next slide, as you see, this is the front of St. Peter's Basilica. This iconic facade was designed by Maderno and remains an unforgettable memory in millions of pilgrims who visit each year. Next up, we have the famous dome. This famous dome inside the basilica was designed by Michelangelo. It is described as a magical illusion by many visitors. This is because, as you walk away from the outside of the basilica, it appears closer. As you walk towards the basilica, the dome appears further away. This great dome soars above the altar and the baldacchino, embellished with mosaic and stucco ornaments. The dome is supported by 4 structural piers. Around the base of the dome, we see the words from Matthew's Gospel, when Jesus invested Peter with supreme authority. "You are rock, and on this rock I will build my church. To you I will give the keys of the kingdom of heaven." Matthew 16:18. As you can see from the picture to your left, you can see the dome from a different view. Upon Aventine Hill, there is a unique keyhole view of the dome. Upon this hill, other than viewing the dome, you can also take in a view of beautiful homes and luscious roses around you. And I actually visited this when I was little, like first grade, and this is one thing that I completely will never forget. It has the most beautiful view ever. On the next slide, we have Michelangelo's Pieta. It is located near the entrance of the basilica. He sculpted the Pieta when he was just 24 years old and was the only sculpture he had ever signed. The entire sculpture is carved from one piece of Carrara marble. Behind the Pieta, which is not seen in this particular photo, is the bricked-over holy door. The door is opened by the Pope only once every 25 years during Jubilee years. This is done by knocking the bricks with a silver hammer. The last time this occurred was in the year 2000. This is shielded by a bulletproof glass today because of how delicate it is. Next up, we have the Chair of St. Peter. This is located in the apse of the basilica behind the famous altar on the far back wall below the stained glass image depicting the Holy Spirit as a dove. Above the chair itself are 2 angels. They're seen bearing the tiara and keys, which are symbols of the Roman pontiff's authority. On the chair, 3 bas reliefs picked out in gold, which refer to the same number of gospel episodes: the consignment of the keys, feed my sheep, and the washing of the feet. Extra random facts about the basilica. There are currently 100 plus tombs at St. Peter's, including 91 popes, the Holy Roman Emperor Otto II, and Swedish Queen Christina, who abdicated the throne to convert to Christianity. The top of the colonnade in the square outside of the basilica contains 140 statues of various saints. Finally, the last fact is that climbing to the top of Michelangelo's dome will add 491 stairs to your exercise log. In some spots, the staircase is so narrow there's no room for railings, and there's a rope that runs down the middle for you to hold on to. Thank you for coming along this short tour with me, filled with what I found most intriguing about St. Peter's Basilica in Italy.